The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air and The Martin Show will forever be immortalized in sitcom history. They were monumental shows of the 90s, and especially in black culture. Hey, I'm Didi Conway, and let me ask you a question. Martin vs. The Fresh Prince. Which was your favorite show? The Fresh Prince was the coming-of-age and fish-out-of-water story of a street kid who gets into trouble and is sent to live with his rich aunt and uncle. The show dealt with many life lessons and fun times for Will and others around him. The show is also centered around Will being a kind of outcast who then turns Bel-Air out. The Martin Show is about a DJ whose brash nature is what usually gets him into all types of situations. The Martin Show sees Martin deal with everyday life with his girlfriend and friends, and it will reflect what times were like for young black people in their late 20s and early 30s. Both having legacies that are great, yet different. The Fresh Prince was the first sitcom starring a rapper and paved the way for others to do so after him. The Fresh Prince would take the approach of handling things very serious, but at the same time in a hysterical manner sometimes. The Fresh Prince would provide us with iconic TV moments such as the Carlton dance, Jazz getting thrown out every fucking episode with damn near the same shirt on, the Trevor Bungee accident, Aunt Viv's classic ballet scene, and many others. In my personal opinion, the Martin Show was pure fun.
If it isn't Little Miss Attitude.
Pam and Martin going at it every episode. Martin was the physical comedy that most of us liked. Martin was extra as hell like the Three Stooges or Carol Burnett. Martin would play a billion other characters. Shanae, Mama Payne, Jerome, Otis the security guard, Roscoe the snot-nosed kid. We could count on whatever character him having to be would be someone we could relate to or was just straight up funny as hell. To me, that Nino Brown impression and the Jerome thing was probably some of the most iconic moments for me watching the show. Martin also had an iconic relationship with Gina. Even until this day, wanting a relationship like Martin and Gina is referenced in so many different songs. They had an iconic TV relationship that showcased what it was like seeing a young black love. Every black relationship we saw on TV, the characters were old and married. Martin Show showed us what it looked like being young, black, and in love and striving to get to those goals of getting married. These shows will always be legendary. They have and will always be around. These two shows sparked two legends in Will Smith and Martin Lawrence. Hell, because of these shows, that's probably why we got Bad Boys. But in my opinion, there will have to be a favorite that I pick as the better show. I would have to pick The Fresh Prince. Martin was super funny, but I like the fact that Fresh Prince was funny, but also took the time to give me a deeper storyline dealing with reality. And to me, Martin just didn't do that for me. Martin made a lot of fun dealing with the reality that he was going through. And that too also does speak to reality, especially for the simple fact that we will make jokes about things that we're going through that are very serious, that we probably shouldn't make jokes about. However, from Martin, I wanted a deeper storyline, and not just from Martin, but from Pam, Cole, Tommy. It was more to them that I felt like could have been done, but it was just more focused on the comedic effect. We all know that iconic scene where Will looked at Uncle Phil and asked why his dad didn't want him anymore, or however it goes.
How come he don't want me, man?
That is the type of depth that I wanted from Martin and that I couldn't get. I watched that show and that episode of The Fresh Prince as a young kid, and my dad was in my life, and it still made me want to cry. I just felt like Martin would be serious, but not as serious as I wanted them to be. The Fresh Prince was a lot stronger all the way through. They brought in a new Aunt Viv, and things still went strong. Unlike the Martin Show, who I felt like definitely suffered when Tisha Campbell left. Everyone on the show did their thing, but when Tisha Campbell and Martin couldn't work together, the dynamic of the black love was gone for me, which furthermore made me feel like the Martin Show lost an important element that made it what it was. The messed up part about it is they didn't even let Martin and Gina do the last episode together. Martin and Tisha Campbell's off-the-screen issues affected the feel of the show in a big way. I'm also pretty sure that the Fresh Prince had their issues too, especially being that Janet Hubert didn't like Will too much at the time because of their off-the-screen issues and the various other things. But despite that, the feel and the atmosphere of the Fresh Prince never changed. I also need to admit straight up, I didn't think the Martin Show was just super funny like other people thought. I loved Martin as a comedian. I loved him as an actor. But when I watched the Martin Show, I watch a lot of people die laughing at it, but there are only certain spots to me where it's funny. For me, when you get past the screaming and all the extra shit Martin does, it's not that funny. That's my opinion. Y'all can kiss my ass if y'all don't like it. And even in doing my research on this and even asking some of my friends and family, they'll say that the Martin Show was more realistic. They could relate to it more. That's totally understandable, and I get that. But ain't no way in hell I will have a friend that would keep kicking me out his house anytime he get mad and some shit that he don't like, and I still keep being friends with them people. That shit was not realistic. Because if you get constantly kicked out, you're not going to keep bringing your ass over there. Ultimately, The Fresh Prince also had more depth. You could pick any character from The Fresh Prince, and they all had something deeper to them. I could watch an episode, and it didn't always have to be about Will. I could watch an episode and see Carlton getting coochie for the first time. Or I could watch an Ashley get a record deal. Shit, my personal favorite is when Uncle Phil out-hustled the hustlers at the pool hall. I just don't feel like I got that from Martin all the time. Cole, Tommy, Pam, all three funny as hell, but after a while, it felt like it's got to be more to them than just getting flamed the whole episode and then kicked out all the time. Martin didn't really bother to deal with real world problems and actually be serious about them. I would see The Martin Show as a show that you would put on when you want to go to laugh. I will also admit that The Fresh Prince got funnier as everyone grew up on the show. So Martin definitely is the funnier show, but Fresh Prince was better all around. I believe Martin catered to a specific demographic, being mainly black people, whereas The Fresh Prince had everyone watching. It was every demographic. Man, even down to the theme song, The Fresh Prince was a lot more popular. If you burst in the song and the first words is in West Philadelphia, born and raised, I guarantee you somebody joins in or finishes that shit for you. They both are and will forever be legends, but The Fresh Prince will always be the one that I love the most.